we got this 2007 Craftsman Rear Engine Rider here. Now, this isn't as old as some of the stuff I normally work on, but this was a request that I do a video and get this fella up and running again. Now, as you can see here, we got some flat tires on this thing. We're gonna have to get pumped up, and I'm not quite sure how long this guy's been sitting, but it's been sitting for 3 years that I know of anyway, maybe a little bit longer. This thing here features got the 13.5 horse Intech Briggs & Stratton engine. Well, we're gonna find a battery to put inside there, but we'll go ahead and see if we can get this fella running again. We'll go ahead and we'll get started getting this new battery put in here. Fortunately, these type of batteries here, they're kind of a pain in the butt put in. You got to go up in here underneath the carriage of the tractor and snake it up in here in the back where the battery box is. I'm not really a fan of how these go in. Ready. Yeah, a couple brand new bolts to put in here. Real fan on how you can't really get back in here very good to work on this thing. Yeah. Not a lot of room at all. Oh man. Oh. Golly be. There we go. There, now the battery's hold down. Well, get on this thing, see if she'll roll over or not. Next plan of attack. See if we got some crankage or not. I'll be doggone. Well, we got some crankage going on. That's a good sign. Gas we got in this thing. Well, there ain't no gas in it, go figure. Alright, well, we gotta go get some gasoline to put in this thing, and we'll see if she'll talk to us or not. There, that ought to be enough fuel in it. Be kind of nice if this fellow would start up and run. I've got to say, some of the last, next to that John Deere, some of the what runs been getting have been kind of a doozy. So, taking more time to get them running. Alrighty. Well, let's see what we got. Choke it here. Alright. Oh, you gotta love that safety switch stuff. Well, things started up and ran. Well, let's see if these tires will hold some air and take her for a little spin. Alright. There we go. Ah, she's taking some wind in there. Whew. I don't know about these tires though. They look like they've seen some better days. Oh, but they take air, so that's a good sign. Be careful on that. Don't want to pop the fellas. Yeah, gives me a little more hair in here too. Let's see if see if this fellow will drive now. All right. I do not like those seat switches on those things, always shutting off when you get off the tractor. Tends to be kind of annoying in my book. Well, let's go see if this little guy will climb the ramp here. Might not be able to get traction on her. Come on, little fella. Whew. Alrighty. I smell a mouse nest. So I might possibly suspect there might be a mouse nest under this thing here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pull this fellow off here just to make sure there's not. We don't need to have us a little engine fire there. Little motor here, she doesn't sound too bad though, I'll say that. Yeah, I tell you, these little 13 half-horse intake brakes, these weren't too bad of a little engine here. They weren't exactly a powerhouse, but they'll get you done what you need to do in a small yard. Yeah. See, something like this is a step-through rear engine rider. Now, I call these are a good riding mower here for the lady of the house, you know. See, now the thing is, this little Craftsman here, I get this thing all fixed up. I got this thing sold, so there's no reason why I wanted to get this thing up and going. And one of my good buddies was over and said, yeah, you know, you ought to do a video on one of those things. You don't see too many of those anymore. I thought, well, all right, I can do that. We got something holding us up here. Where are you? There we go. Yeah. Don't see no mouse nest in there, but there is some grass in there. We need to get that grass blown out of there. That's not good in there. These fans need to cool off, and that definitely doesn't help the situation. Stick us a rag down there in the carburetor. We don't need to create a problem there. Alright, put this fella back down on there again. Now we're for certain we ain't got no Mighty Mouse hidden inside there somewhere. So I've obviously got some work I got to do on the mower deck right here. She needs some service work, that's for sure. And as you can see right here, this tensioner pulley right here, she's tore up on that. That's going to have to be replaced, and well, have to take and evaluate that belt on there. But more than likely, we'll put a new belt on here too. So we want this thing to last and run real smoothly for these people that are going to be buying this wonderful little machine here. These mower decks, they aren't the easiest to get out, but go ahead and pull these hairpin clips and slip this fellow out of here. Got a couple pins right here to pull out. Oh, wowzers. There we go. Not a very bright design in my book. I got slide this pin to get this out. There should be a pin to undo that fella, but well, I guess they didn't feel the need to make that simple for us, so ouch, wowzers. There we go. I just think they come up with a little bit simpler design on this right here. This just don't make a whole lot of sense how they did this. Got a couple washers back in there for some shims. I think we're gonna do some changing on that. I don't like that. Good Lord. This has got to be one of the monkiest type of setups I've seen on one of these things. I was not liking it. Well, I guess the only other option we got is we're just going to have to take these bolts off up here to get that to drop down so we can get this deck out of there. Way too much work here to take this deck off when you want to. Alrighty, now that's loose. We can get that fellow wiggle out of there. Now just got to get this belt off around the pulley of the engine here, and we're free to we're home free. Ouch! I always pinch myself on that stuff. I tell you what. There, now we're free to go. Now what's holding us up? Okay, yeah, we got this spring here. I guess I got to take loose. There we go. There. Hopefully we ain't got any more surprises. Good Lord. There we go. Well, we got that mower deck off. I I tell you what, this thing's got an airplane propeller on it for a lawnmower blade. Yeah, we'll go through and start doing some work on this deck here, getting this ready to go. Well, I ordered some parts for that mower deck so we can get that done, but in the meantime, I got some new front tires here for the front of this tractor. Ended up getting those tires off the world's second largest river, so we're going to go ahead and we'll put those on right now, and this problem be taken care of. Get my little miniature jack up here, get this front end jacked up here. Yeah, these little tires here got off the world's second largest river. Yeah, they weren't too terribly expensive, and well, they got the sealed roller bearings in here, so these are going to be a little bit better than what was actually on it. So, but even though they got the sealed bearings in, I still like to take just put a little bit of grease on this this spindle here, just to just give it a little bit of extra lubrication. Yeah, those things they slip on there real nice, and I'm taking. You do got to add some shims on here though to get the right clearance on here. I do see that, but that's not no big deal. We can do that. As your kit is going to come with a couple washers and a couple cotter keys. Yeah, I think we're going to get us one more shim to put on there just for good measures. I was gonna say, this yellow on red here, it don't look too bad, How's that old saying go on down south? How's it go? Red and black, friend of Jack, and red and yellow can kill a fella? Something like that? Ooh, we got a little extra shimmage on there we don't quite need. Pull that there fella right off there. Alright, now the front tires there on there now. Let's fill it down. There we go. As you can see, these back tires, they're not the healthiest of shape on here, so we're gonna do some price shopping, see if I can find me a good deal on a set of back tires to put on this guy here too. Well, I got these back tires off this thing last night, and boy, I tell you what, this one right here was a doozy. I had to heat and quench and cool on this to get this off. This tire was seized right on here. You can see how corroded and oxidized that is on there from the rust. So we're gonna have to clean this axle up and make her all nice and shiny, and we'll put this back together with some anti-goop, and we'll call that a day. But yeah, it got late last night, so thought, well, we're at a stopping point, we're gonna stop there. I went out this morning, and my junkyard, I do got some decent tires that actually really good condition used tires that I'm gonna swap these out with a tire machine and put these on here. So I'm going to do these off camera. I absolutely hate swapping tires, and once we get this done, well, we'll get these tires put back on. Sandpaper right here and stand up this axle shaft a little bit with that seized on there. A little bit easier. A fella needs to get this tire off here if he's got to change a tire or not. I'm going to take and put just a little bit of this anti-lockup grease on here. That way that issue don't happen again where I have to struggle to get this tire off. Now it's really important too, when you put this anti-lockup gel on here, where your keyway is, you're going to want to put some of that in that groove too, because that generally tends to be where they like to see that key is steel and it just likes to lock up and rust up in there and just cause all kinds of havoc. So you want to get your wheel off. I was even taking put it on the key itself. Slide our sleeve back on here. Like so. There we go. Put some of that lock-up grease on that key. I was even took delivery and repainted this rim when we got some tires to put on here. You might be asking me, well, why didn't I paint them silver or white like the other ones were? Well, why paint 4 rims when I can take and paint 2? Yeah, it looks all right with a yellow hot paint. Well, there we are. We got all the flat tire situation straightened out on the old Craftsman here. So yeah, I don't think it looks too bad with the yellow rims on there. So, well, on to the mower deck now. Well, it's another day later. We're going to start putting this mower deck back on this little Craftsman here. Finally got my rotary order in and got me my new idler pulley goes on here. And I did decide to replace the belt on here. Figured, we're right here and got the deck off. It's not really the smartest idea not to do it when the other belt was old. So, well, time to get to it. We'll get working on this and get this deck back on. And get this belt pulled back on here. I think this little mower here is going to run out all right. Now the thing is, get this put back together. If I remember, all this goes back together. It's been a sun and a moon since I've actually worked on one of these things. Don't get a whole lot of these anymore in the shop. It's kind of like riding a horse, You just kind of never forget once you get into it. It all comes back to you. Well, of course, then I grabbed the wrong size wrench, but that's my fault because the wrench I thought it was put in the wrong spot in the toolbox. So, always put your tools back exactly where they go. Alrighty, now we'll get ready to slide this fella under here. I mentioned before, I really didn't like how this the brackets were set up on this deck, so I may be making some changes along the way as we go, just to make it more to my liking. I still remember one thing on this, though. I ain't worked on one of these for a while. One thing that hasn't changed. These really aren't the funnest mower decks to take on and off these machines. That hasn't changed. I can tell you that right now. Seems like any one of these you work on, you spend a lot of times cursing out the engineers and, you know, ask themselves, why did they do dumb things like this? I got an answer for that question, you know, if you ever wonder that. Well, these engineers, they clearly aren't thinking about the people that have to work on these machines. So, back rods were the fun ones back here. Go. Alrighty, now we got that part. Now I'm gonna figure out what I want to do different on this filler right here, because I don't like that. Well, the mower deck, it's all on here now. It's all working the way it should. All the levers and mechanisms are actuating the way they should. I'm quite happy the way this has come out here. Now we got our kick out arm right here. This is kicking out real good like it should. Now, what I had to do, this is a common problem if you have one of these Craftsmans at home. These arms under here, they're notorious for rusting up under there, so I had to pull this out here and take a disc grinder and sand it up, and I put some high pressure grease lubricant under this. This thing pulls and frees up like it should, because what happens on these fellas right here is when you go to release this like so, it wants to stick out there in that position and it doesn't want to shut the mower deck off. So that's how you fix that problem. So, well, the only thing we got left to do is let this fella down and start it up, and we're going to go cut the grass. Well, here's the moment of truth. See what this little fella's got here. Haha, go for a little mowing here, see what she does. Sitting there. Let's see. All right. All right, this has got the mulch set on it. Well, we're gonna take and get us a little strap here. I like the side discharge on my own lawn here. See if we can do something about that right here. Okay. Might kind of make a little bit of a mess here, but yeah, we're gonna come up with a side discharge before I sell this to these people. That way they have that option to it. I just think I'll just kind of leave that open. Maybe it'll help blow it out. So, all right, let's try this one more time. Oh yeah. Yeah, that works. doggy barking at me. Fella here scoots right along pretty good, don't she? Alright everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this little video on this 2007 Craftsman Rear Engine Rider. I don't know if I mentioned it or not in the video, but this rider here was actually made by the Mower company. But yeah, she runs out real good. We got the new tires put on her. The mower deck works real good and cutting like she needs to be. And yeah, it runs out real good. You know, I'm quite pleased with how it's going on it. So I think this we'll get this thing all cleaned up and shined up nice, and she'll be going on down the road to her new owner. But again, thanks so much for tuning in and hanging out with us as we go through and get this machine up and running again. I appreciate you very much. Ooh. Dumping a bunch of rocks across the road there. Kind of loud, isn't it? Well, yeah, I appreciate you all so much for tuning in and watching this. And yeah, if you could maybe leave a comment down below and maybe hitting that like button and consider subscribing. We'll see you all in our next video. Take care, everyone.